Milko come. Milky.
Say. Mong come. Mong come.
Kako. Vida. Toma. Puma. Lokuto. Jikokashe.
Akumi.
Tao. Mbao.
Nakatuka.
Come.
The Bushmen, also known as San, were a people that lived nomadically, moving throughout a large portion of the continent.
They're the oldest race within the human race. They've been within Africa for 80,000 years, moving around through the whole of southern Africa and East Africa.
Considered to be the oldest culture on the planet, these Aboriginal people have survived for centuries in the harsh desert conditions of the Kalahari. The San have an extraordinary knowledge of their environment and have mastered a harmonious existence with nature.
They know their area very, very well. They know where to find certain resources.
The Bushmen are famous for their expert abilities as hunters.
They hunt using a poison to which there's absolutely no antidote.
For their egalitarian social structure.
They have no tribal hierarchy, there's no chiefs.
And for their method of healing through dance.
They feel that dance is what they can really offer the outside world. They feel it's what most quintessentially expresses them.
The San's rich cultural tradition has inspired worldwide fascination from both curious Westerners and anthropologists.
The knowledge and understanding that they have of their own environment is something that outsiders are interested in learning about.
The myth that the San are a people untouched by the outside world is far from the truth.
You get people that have this romantic idea of Bushmen still living completely untouched within the African bush. You know, that's gone.
Some have sought out the Bushmen for enlightened spiritual leadership. Others for their progressive belief system.
People that don't make war, people that practice gender equality.
Though the San have adapted for centuries, they now face new challenges that threaten their survival.
Their livelihood is based very closely in their knowledge of a specific environment. When you take that away, you take away everything.
The Bushmen are now engaged in a final battle between surrendering to the ways of modern society or fighting to maintain the ancient traditions of their long-standing culture. This is the story of the Kalahari Bushmen. Africa is an exotic land of wildlife and natural wonders, diverse in people, geography, and climate. Cutting across the southern portion of the continent is the vast expanse of the Kalahari Desert. Twice the size of Texas, the Kalahari spans 5 countries, making it the second largest desert in the world. This harsh and arid landscape lacks a permanent water supply, so its inhabitants are forced to depend on inconsistent watering holes created by seasonal rainfall. A surprising array of plants and animals have adapted to this unforgiving climate. The desert is actually a vibrant ecosystem, home to many species found nowhere else in the world. Predators and prey are constantly searching the Kalahari for ample water and food sources. This may seem quite an unlikely place for humans, but this challenging environment is also home to the world's first people, the San, or Bushmen. Bushmen once roamed throughout a large part of the African continent, where scientists have traced the origins of the entire human race. Evidence suggests that the San have lived here for millennia, but experts still debate the exact age of the culture.
They're the oldest race within the human race. They've been moving around through the whole of southern Africa and East Africa for 80,000 years.
That's a conservative estimate of how old Bushman culture is. It's more likely about 100.
There are about 100,000 people who are San or of San origin. Some small percentage of them, maybe 5%, are living as in a more or less traditional way.
The modern world often struggles to categorize indigenous peoples. The San are no different and have been given many labels.
The term Bushman has been applied to the people by outsiders, of course. It has been a pejorative term with connotations of primitiveness, backwardness, etc. And so the people have, in general, not wanted to be called Bushmen.
The San have now embraced the term they once rejected, but no label can truly embody this age-old and unique culture.
They are people who have been isolated from much of the rest of the world for a very long time, and therefore retain an awful lot of the not only gene pool but also ancient traditions of their people. I believe that many Westerners are naive in that way, that they assume that there is something, quote, primitive about what we have called primitive culture. And in fact, it may be highly sophisticated, highly nuanced, highly developed, and quite sufficient to the situation that people find themselves in.
The sophistication of the San culture extends to all aspects of their life. One of the most commonly known and distinctive characteristics of the Bushmen is their intricate and unique way of communicating.
The Bushman also evokes a certain type of language group, this clicking type of language.
They speak click languages, Khoisan languages, which are some of the most phonetically complex languages in the world. Some of the San languages have 4 clicks and some have 5 clicks. If you multiply those consonants with all of the other combinations that they can make with other letters in their alphabet, you get 84 permutations of clicking sounds that are not found in any other languages.
The San way of life has evolved over the course of hundreds of centuries. They have developed a very harmonious relationship with their natural environment that has allowed them to thrive where others could not survive. Until 10,000 years ago, all human beings lived by hunting and gathering. The San are among the last people that still utilize this ability.
Living by hunting and gathering means every day is an adventure.
One of the keys to the Bushman-ness, if you like, is adaptability. Because if you're foraging for food, it's not a routine. You're not doing the same agricultural chores every day.
They know where to find certain resources, and they know how available those resources are, if they're diminished or if there's huge amounts of them.
These are a group of people whose environment does not lend itself to hoarding. They leave things in the environment until they're ready to consume it, so it's a very fresh way of living.
The San take only what they need, and nothing is wasted. They use ostrich eggshells for storing water, animal skins for clothing, and mud-packed vegetation to build huts.
They hunt using a poison to which there's absolutely no antidote.
If you get touched by it, you're a goner. You're dead within several hours.
Basically comes down to men mostly hunting, women mostly gathering. Their husbands bring along the poisoned arrows and the spears and actually shoot or stab the animal. But both of them are expert in tracking the animal until it dies after that.
The San are renowned for their unparalleled ability to track animals, as well as for their mastery in finding other